Could Oklahoma teachers walk out? We have the latest on a possible strike. Also, the OU Presidential Search Committee hands off recommendations. And is the flu season finally slowing down? This is OU Nightly. Good evening and welcome to OU Nightly. I'm Ashley Eddy.
And I'm Kyle Payne. Oklahoma teachers have an eye on the state legislature, wondering if lawmakers can reach an agreement that will bring the first pay raise for them in 10 years.
Now there's word they aren't just going to wait and see what happens. Reagan Ledbetter joins us live right now. And Reagan, you're hearing the teachers are talking strike.
Yes, Ashley, the talks of a teacher strike last week actually heated up and kind of surfaced. This week, they're actually heating up even more and becoming more of a reality. I spoke with a spokesperson from the Oklahoma Education Association, and he said this idea actually started way before the West Virginia strikes. A newly formed Facebook group, Oklahoma Teacher Walkout, the time is now, is calling for 41,000 teachers to walk off the jobs as early as April. The page was created last week and already has over 54,000 followers. Here is the potential outline of the strike. As I said, the group say the first option would be to start April 2nd. There will be a protest at the Capitol over spring break, and teachers could go on spring break and not return, and lawmakers are feeling the pressure.
The biggest feeling I get from our employees right now is what's going on. We want to go back to school. These folks said 5%. We said yes. The PEI fix is temporarily there, but this
and again, none of this is set in stone. OEA will be having a press conference on Thursday, and OU Nightly will be there with all the latest details. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Reagan. Oklahoma teachers certainly aren't the only ones fighting for better pay. Teachers in West Virginia are already on strike, and their lawmakers are having trouble reaching an agreement. Olivia Whitehead joins us in the News Center with the latest. Olivia?
That's right. An 8-day-long teacher strike has West Virginia legislators scrambling to meet teachers' pay raise demands. Governor Jim Justice and union leaders agreed to a 5% raise, but Senate passed only a 4% raise, leaving teachers confused and willing to continue their strike. The House voted not to adopt the 4% version of the bill, giving the group 1 day to come to a decision. And after the deadly shooting in Florida, state lawmakers are struggling on new regulations to protect schools. State senators held a rare session on Saturday lasting 8 hours that yielded no progress. Some of the issues debated included raising the age to purchase a firearm to 21, arming teachers, and among other issues, a 2-year moratorium on AR-15s. This lack of compromise has led the Florida Senate to hold another session later today in hopes of reaching a feasible agreement. There are less than 6 days left in this year's legislative session, leaving senators scrambling for a consensus. And today marks the deadline for a decision in the Deferred Action for Child Arrivals program. 6 months ago, President Donald Trump moved to end DACA, telling Washington lawmakers to develop a legislative policy protecting undocumented immigrants who came to the U.S. as children. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders expressed her opinion of the court's lack of action.
They claim to want to fix DACA. The president laid out a pathway and an exact way to do that. They failed to address it, but we're still hopeful that Congress will actually do their jobs, show up and get something done and fix this problem, not kick it down the road and not continue to ignore it.
For now, the federal court has blocked Trump's plan to end DACA program, delaying the fate of DACA recipients even longer. The Department of Homeland Security will continue renewing existing permits until a decision is reached. And we will keep you updated as more information comes in. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Olivia. Well, warm, dry weather and that stiff Oklahoma wind means most of the state is in a red flag fire warning right now. Over the next few hours till 7 tonight, the warning is in effect. Fires that develop will spread quickly. Meteorologists at the National Weather Service offices have been keeping a close eye on the conditions using the GO16 data. Information is transmitted once a minute to the offices.
It allows us to detect new wildfire ignitions very soon, very early, while they're still very small. And that allows us to tactically route fire departments and first responders to those newly ignited fires, and therefore they're able to attack them sooner and help protect life and property.
New satellite Ghost 17 was launched on March 1st, which will allow the West Coast to use this fire detection method by the end of this year. Well, you know, those high winds out there today definitely contribute to the fire danger.
Yeah, Andrew Adams is here with First Weather. Andrew, can we expect those high winds this week?
Tomorrow, along with the dry weather, we're looking at single-digit percentages for relative humidity out in western Oklahoma, and that's what's going to lead to us tomorrow in this critical region for this fire weather danger that we will be seeing, and for really all of the state except for a little bit of a corner in the southeast and just a little smidge at the end of the panhandle. But I'll have more on that fire danger, how long we're going to see these winds, and what kind of week we have ahead of us. Back to you.
Thanks, Andrew. Another day, another earthquake in Oklahoma, and a few smaller ones this morning near Enid. But last night, 2 larger quakes rattled the town of Breckenridge, that's just 70 miles north of Oklahoma City. Damage was reported, and some homes suffered exterior house damage and cracks on walls and ceilings. While earthquake totals peaked in 2015, they are trending down this year.
After hiring an executive director, Le Monde International School is set to begin its first school year in August. This is a new French and Spanish immersion public charter school in Norman. After a $325,000 grant from the Walton Family Foundation, Le Monde was able to hire Lance Seawright as executive director, as well as start recruiting teachers and developing curriculum. The school is for students in pre-K through the 4th grade. There is no cost for students to attend the school, and applications are due March 23rd.
And some non-Christian faiths could be affected over the new chaplain guidelines in the House of Representatives. OU Nightly's Jaron Spohr has the details. And we are sorry for the technical difficulties, but coming up on OU Nightly, the changes to OU's campus mail system are coming. We'll find out what will be different when students get back from spring break.
Plus, one of the most disturbing facts about the opioid epidemic, we will tell you who is visiting the hospital even more often.
The OU Board of Regents is one step closer to finding a new university president. Regents met today in Oklahoma City. OU Nightly's Madeline Roberts attended the meeting and has an update on the process.
That's right. The first phase in the selection process for a new president of the University of Oklahoma is complete. The search committee met here for the final time at the Robert M. Byrd Library at the OU Health Sciences Center in Oklahoma City. The executive session was closed to the public and lasted about an hour and a half. Committee Chair David Rainbow said the committee was a success.
Oh, I thought it was an extraordinarily rewarding experience. I love Oklahoma. I love OU. I've not done anything like this before, so it was interesting.
For the next phase in the selection process, the OU Board of Regents will interview selected candidates for the position.
Thanks, Madeline. Stick with OU Nightly and OUNightly.com for updates throughout the search for a new OU president.
Students who live on the OU campus will have a new way of getting their mail after spring break. After students about lost packages, OU Mailing Services announced that they will be opening new mail lockers around campus. John Sarantacos, Director of Mailing Services, hopes the postal lockers will also prevent students who don't live in campus housing from going inside the buildings.
And Will Cornelius joins us in Health Beat with why you may want to wait on spraying your yard for weeds this spring. Will?
That's right, Kyle. More than 300 lawsuits have been filed against Monsanto, claiming a chemical found in their Roundup weed killer causes cancer. Judge Chabara is presiding over the lawsuits, but is skeptical of those claims. He will spend the week hearing from mental health experts to determine whether there is valid scientific evidence to support the plaintiff's claims. The lawsuits come after the International Agency on Research on Cancer classified Roundup as a probable human carcinogen. Monsanto continues to say that the product, used both residentially and on farms, is safe. And it may not be over, but flu season is coming to a close. Officials say flu numbers peaked early in February and have been declining since. We've seen a decrease in the flu as well here in Oklahoma. There were only 157 hospitalizations and no new deaths this past week. The opioid epidemic is still running rampant in the U.S., and it's affecting more kids than ever. The study shows the number of opioid-related hospitalizations in patients 17 and younger nearly doubled from 2004 to 2015. Researchers say most of the cases have involved using their kids, have gotten drugs from their parents, and they've just been using them out of curiosity. But Dr. Jason Kane says those children are just secondary victims to the adult opioid epidemic problem nationwide. And Kyle and Ashley, I don't know if you saw this, but you can actually take an Uber to the hospital now. It's really getting, Ubering everywhere is really becoming a thing now,
Yeah, and isn't it free?
Partially. So they will bill the healthcare provider who their health insurance, the patient's health insurance is through, and they'll send the bill to them. But to the patients, yes, it should be free, assuming they have the right kind of healthcare. So
yeah, definitely cheaper than an ambulance.
Oh, way cheaper.
Thank you, Will.
And still ahead on OU Nightly, one former OU quarterback did not disappoint the NFL Combine.
And Andrew Adams is standing by with the weather.
That's right, guys. I'll be letting y'all know if we're going to be seeing those high winds tomorrow. Welcome back, everyone. A very beautiful day, very dry, very windy here in Oklahoma. You can see some just gorgeous cirrostratus clouds out here in Oklahoma City. I think something's wrong with our river cam. Not so sure those are clouds. I think those are cars. But here in Norman, it is feeling great right now. 60 degrees, sunny. It's been very windy, as you've all felt today, 21 miles per hour out of the northwest. But that'll be changing as we make our way into this evening. As you see, going along through the evening, we're going to be slowing down to about 0 to 5 miles an hour winds, cooling down along with it as well. Should be a pretty nice, clear night. Low of 34 degrees here in Norman. A little bit cooler up in the Panhandle, but overall, a very nice night ahead of us below our normal of 38. Now, let's talk about tomorrow. That's when our big wind is coming in, right? That's our fire danger. Yes. Tomorrow, winds should be upward of 20 to 35 miles per hour, gusting above 40. And that's really the main concern with this fire danger, is that the winds and the dry conditions are going to make any fire that could happen even faster. It'll fuel it, keep it going. Wednesday, winds are going to start calming down. We're only going to be gusting to about 15, which will be nice. And into Thursday as well, picking back up, but nothing like we are going to see tomorrow, where the gusts will be above 40 miles per hour. Now, that's not going to start until about right after the afternoon hour. 60 degrees for our high tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and a nice sunny day, but still very dry for the rest of Oklahoma. And as I was showing you earlier, that central and western Oklahoma are in the critical region for that fire danger levels. Now, tomorrow, very blustery with the 40-mile-an-hour gusts that I was talking about, windy. Wednesday, calmer, more pleasant day, 52 degrees for our high. It will kind of be bouncing back and forth between the 60s and 50s as the week goes on, getting close to 70 on Friday. It should be a pretty nice weekend. We'll have some clouds rolling in, but I'm not thinking that we should get any rain. So honestly, this will be a nice weekend to get out, enjoy some wonderful spring weather, and just have a nice one.
Definitely.
Yeah, nice weekend, but 40-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, just watch out for
Hold
the
on
fires.
to your hat. Put your hair in a hair tie. It's going to be a windy one.
All right, well, thanks, Andrew.
Thank you,
Sure.
Andrew.
And Rachel Roberts is here with a look at what's coming up in sports.
Rachel, how did the Sooners look this weekend?
Well, women's gymnastics held on to their #1 spot in the nation for the 8th week in a row, so not too shabby. And men's basketball is headed to the Big 12 tournament. Stick around, sports is next. Trae Young and the Sooners dominated in their final regular season home game Friday night. Young had 15 points and 6 assists to help Oklahoma defeat Iowa State 81-60. Cameron McGusty scored 18 and Christian James added 15 in a crucial win for the Sooners after falling to Baylor in a blowout loss earlier last week. Kadeem Lattin set the school record for career blocks in his final home game, surpassing Al Beal's 230 blocks that had stood since 1980. The Sooners now have won 2 of 3 to get back on track heading into the Big 12 tournament, and Lauren Linville is here with more. Lauren? Well, Rachel, it is championship week, and the Sooners are coming off a big home win against Iowa State. Oklahoma dropped in conference rankings, finishing the regular season 18-12, ranked 9th in the Big 12. The guys finished 8-10 in conference play, losing 8 on the road and the other 2 here in Norman. OU kicks off the Big 12 tournament Wednesday in Kansas City, Bedlam style, facing number 8 Oklahoma State at 7. Following the in-state rival game, number 7 Texas takes on 10 Iowa State at 9. And for the Sooners, March means business.
Just keep fighting, you know, as Coach said, in March is everybody gets a second chance, and we just have to scratch and claw for one more win.
And Coach Kruger's guys are busy this week. Tonight stars Christian Doolittle and Cameron McGusty will stop by the Sooner Sports Pad set. Softball's Paige Parker invades Kyle's corner this week, and a terrific story on tennis star Spencer Pupa's fight back from a torn ACL. And if you miss it tonight, catch the replay tomorrow right here after our newscast. Rachel? Moving back to OU sports, women's gymnastics posted the nation's highest score and held on to their #1 ranking for the 8th week in a row. 6 Sooners hold 12 individual top 25 rankings. Sophomore Maggie Nichols is ranked 1st in the all-around and tied for 1st on bars and beam. And junior Brenna Dowell is tied with Nichols for 2nd on vault and tied for 15 on bars. The Sooners will host their final home meet of the season on March 9th. Oklahoma softball finished its first weekend at home 4-0, taking down Abilene Christian 8-1 on Sunday afternoon to go undefeated at the Courtyard Marriott tournament. The Sooners were led by senior Nicole Penley, who was 2 for 3 on the day, scoring 1 run and picking up 3 RBIs. And Sooner baseball dominated Alabama 16-4 Saturday evening. The Sooners clinched the series behind their largest scoring day of the year and sealed the win with an 8-run 8th inning to improve to 6-5 on the season. Well, Sooner athletes weren't the only ones winning over the weekend. Oklahoma's very own Joe Castiglione added another significant honor to his list of accomplishments after being awarded the 2017-2018 Under Armour 80 of the Year for the Football Bowl subdivision. And Oklahoma quarterback Baker Mayfield is in Indianapolis for the NFL Combine. The biggest question mark regarding Mayfield has been his arm strength, but that didn't seem an issue on Saturday as he accurately threw the ball downfield. The Heisman winner seemed unfazed by the questions regarding his arm and had more to say on what he brings to the table as a player.
Dash at the Combine.
Polarizing one way or the other with him.
My energy and passion I bring, it's every day. It's not just on game days. It's at the 5 o'clock workouts when nobody wants to be there. It's in the summer when it's been a long grind. So it's just infectious, and I think I see that. And the most important thing is winning, and that's the one thing I know how to do. Yeah, I've been in the spotlight a little bit, and that gets confused with cockiness, but I've believed in myself, and that's why I'm here right now.
It's good to see a Sooner do well at the
yeah,
Combine.
It is, and a few others. So Mark Andrews, Orlando Brown.
He did great.
So, yeah.
Yes.
So it's great to see for the school and for Oklahoma in general.
Baker Mania to Cleveland. I know a lot of people don't want to see it, but his Combine may have.
Never know.
You don't know. Could happen.
Thank you.
Thanks
guys.
Rachel.
Still to come on OU Nightly, the Oscars were last night, and we have the big winners.
And one famous athlete transitioned into animated films. Stay with us.
I'm Taitum Wilson at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Nearly 7,000 rape kits remain untested in Oklahoma 10 months after Governor Mary Fallin signed an executive order requiring law enforcement agencies to audit untested kits. And Governor Fallin says she reached a deal with legislators and state prosecutors on a package of bills to combat Oklahoma's growing prison population. The bills plan to target nonviolent and drug crimes and will make it easier for inmates to be released on parole. That's it from the Update Desk. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Taitum. The Oscars were last night, and if you didn't get a chance to watch, here's a breakdown on some of the big awards. The Shape of Water won Best Picture, and Guillermo del Toro won Best Director for it as well. Gary Oldman won Best Actor for The Darkest Hour, Get Out won for Best Original Screenplay, and Kobe Bryant won for his animated short, Dear Basketball. The viewership, although, dropped to an all-time low.
Did you guys watch it?
I didn't personally. Did you?
No, I didn't.
I was pretty excited to see Kobe Bryant win the award, though. That's pretty cool.
I found that out. I was, man, you got 5 rings, and now you got an Oscar.
That's awesome.
Diversifying.
That's something.
All right, Andrew Adams is here with the weather fact.
Yes. So in 1962, there was a nor'easter that affected the Atlantic coast. It produced 40-foot waves, 70-mile-an-hour winds, 2 feet of snow, and $200 million in property damages.
Wow.
That is
Along the
intense.
coast. It's a lot of money for one storm.
That is a
That
lot
is
of wind, a
something.
lot of damage, a lot of money.
Yeah, hate to see that.
Very. Thank you.
All right, thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.